everybody! Today's video is going to be a skincare video on how I have been unclogging my pores and the products that I have been using. A few weeks ago I got a new toner because they did not have the one I typically use, so I just picked it up thinking it wouldn't be a big deal, and within a day my skin was awful. I had a ton of cystic acne and I'm still having a few problem areas, but they are a ton better than they were. I had a ton of cystic acne on my cheeks. I had a lot through this area of my eyebrow and on my chin and right around my hairline, and they really hurt, and I never thought that they were gonna go away because I had a ton of them. So my skin is doing a lot better than it was a couple weeks ago, and I did go back to my normal toner. The store ended up getting it in a few days later and I threw out that old one. I'm going to be showing you guys the steps I took in order to sort of clear up that situation, and I did want to say that that might not have been the only reason my skin had gotten that bad, but I think that was the contributing factor, just because up until then I had not changed anything in my skincare routine for the longest time, like literally over a year. So that's the only thing I can think of that made me break out so fast and so bad. So obviously right now my skin is not anywhere near as bad, and I wish I would have gotten before pictures, but it was something that I didn't even think about. All I could honestly think about at that point was getting rid of all that acne. So I'm going to show you guys the steps that I took to kind of clear it up. I only changed a few things in my routine, and within a day I noticed that my skin looked a ton better. So I'm going to be showing you guys the demo on that right now. So the first thing I like to do before touching my face at all is wash my hands. So I'm going to just be using my normal hand soap that I have by my sink. It's just the Dial hand soap. So usually I do this in the shower, and I always have a bar of soap in the shower just dedicated for washing my hands. So I'm going to go ahead and do that first. Then what I like to do is just take a normal washcloth, and this isn't a super soft one, it's actually pretty rough, so it's good for a little exfoliating and getting rid of any kind of built up oil on my skin that happened overnight. So what I like to do is just get this wet with warm water, and once I've done that, what I like to do is just go over my skin, not being too rough, just trying to get all of that built up oil off of my skin. And my skin does turn red, so don't mind that. I'm really not pushing hard at all. And then what I like to do is give it a little bit more exfoliation, just because I know my skin can handle it. If yours can't, don't do this step. But I'm going to go ahead and use the Equate Beauty Blemish Control, and this is the Apricot Scrub. It's just like the St. Ives one, but about half the price. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit on my hand. And then what I like to do is just dampen my skin a little bit more. Then go ahead and rub that in my hands, and I do still like to add a little bit of water to that, and then just start exfoliating all over my skin. And I do like to focus this everywhere, but mainly on the spots that need a little extra help and are a little bit more congested and clogged. And then you can go ahead and rinse that off. And this next product is one that I used to use way back in the day, and it used to come in a jar form, and I think it still does, but this is just the pump form, so it's a little bit easier to use. It's a little bit thinner. So this is the Noxzema Classic Clean Original Deep Clean Cream, and it says it tingles and refreshes for soft, smooth skin with eucalyptus, and this is definitely a deep clean, and I'm so glad that I added this into my routine because I think that this is the main reason my skin did clear up so quickly. So what I'm just going to be doing is pumping 2 or 3 pumps into my hand. Once again, I'm just going to rub my fingers together, and without pushing too hard, I'm just going to start putting this all over my skin, just making sure that I have gotten it everywhere. And once I kind of have it placed, here is where I really like to go in and apply a firmer pressure. You don't want to push too hard, but I really do like doing a firm massage because that's what's going to really get deep in there. And I do, once again, focus everywhere, but really focusing on the spots where I am broken out or where I see that my skin is really congested. And I do this for about 30 seconds. And then you can go ahead and rinse that off also. Another thing that I like to do with Noxzema is almost use it as a mask when I'm in the shower. So I will go ahead and do the other steps before, but instead of massaging it in really firmly at first, what I like to do is leave it on for about 5 minutes and then go ahead and do that step. And I just love how that makes my skin feel. So after doing that, I'm going to go ahead in with my normal cleanser. This is the Neutrogena Oil-Free Acne Stress Control Cream Cleanser. So I'm just going to do what I typically would at at this point, go ahead and just get about that much. And then just rub it all over my skin. Sort of using a firm pressure with this also. And I'm going to be taking my Clarisonic Nia 2 and using this. And I typically don't use this for the full minute. I usually only use it for about half of the time. And I know not everybody's skin is going to be able to handle this. This is just what I do in order to really unclog my pores. And it actually did work for me pretty fast. Within 1 day of even adding the Neutrogena step in, I noticed my skin felt a lot cleaner and did not look nearly as clogged. Once I'm done with that, I just go ahead and rinse that off. And then you can go ahead and just pat your skin dry. And then I'm just going to go ahead and continue on with my usual skincare routine, which I will have linked down below. The products on that have not changed at all. So those are the steps I took in order to sort of clear up my skin, and I'm still doing those steps once a day. If I don't wear makeup, I only wash my face once a day, so that's when I will do that step. And on the days where I do wear makeup, I do that in the morning as opposed to when I wash off my face, just because I'm using more products at that point also. So I hope this video was helpful, and if you guys have any tips and tricks on how you get rid of acne fast, go ahead and leave those down below for people to see. If you haven't subscribed and want to see more videos from me, don't forget to do that. I hope you guys have an awesome day, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.